In the shadow of the Caldor Fire, which has already claimed 800 homes, South Lake Tahoe is slowly, if cautiously, coming back to life. In the wake of thunderstorms that swept through the region, fire officials remained on high alert, fearing they could stall containment efforts and delay repopulation. Wildfires in the Sierra Nevada have destroyed more than 1,000 structures since August 14. About 10,000 people are still not able to return home, which is 65%. Moore said the situation is at its most tense this week as he stood outside Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Lake Tahoe, which serves as a makeshift command center for firefighters. The firefighters and other emergency responders were thanked by residents through signs and even an inflatable bear. The air in the mountain hamlet was heavy with frustration as community members waited to go back to their old lives. In Jesse Marshall's hometown, there were never fires. "We keep having fires, and they get worse every year." This is Marshall's second wildfire this summer. She experienced the bootleg fire in southern Oregon earlier this summer. She now lives in Medford, Oregon, and visited loved ones who had to evacuate their homes. As firefighters and National Guard members strolled through the Hard Rock lobby, Marshall played poker and sipped on a cocktail. She was one of only a few people inside the casino not related to the fire. Chased a toy a few yards away. The once pristine lake was obscured by a gray and brown haze, making it difficult to see the water even from a few feet away. "It breaks my heart that she's not showing up today in one of the most beautiful places in the world." In the first days that the fire threatened the area, the sky turned yellow, black, and red. A fire was raging around him. The Caldor Fire swept through 3 counties in Northern California this week, forcing perhaps 43,000 people to flee or downgrade their evacuation orders as it slowed. Ayers is one of thousands of people leaving their homes. There are still dangers as a fire weather warning was implemented for much of fire-scarred Northern California Thursday afternoon through Friday. While the threat lingered, residents waited out both the fire and the passing storms from hotels, evacuation shelters, and their homes. The California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection reports nearly 15,000 firefighters are working on 14 major wildfires, as well as several smaller fires. Among them are 3 of California's 20 largest fires. There has been a historic drought, record temperatures, and poor within fire trucks. At the Caldor Fire, 9 emergency responders have been injured, including one firefighter who sustained 20% body burns. Firefighters are working to clear and remove fire-weakened trees in hopes that residents will be able to return home as early as this weekend. It's a slow and arduous process, and while many residents appreciate firefighters' efforts, many are longing for normalcy. Andres Delgadillo was forced to shut down his Mexican restaurant, Los Mexicanos, for a week and live with relatives in Vallejo. Rather than close his business, Delgadillo communicated with his employees via WhatsApp and tracked conditions from afar the week before Labor Day. Upon his return a week later, Delgadillo had to throw out food and other perishable goods from his restaurant and his neighboring market. His employees are still under evacuation orders, so he is filling in for 5 of them. We were able to set aside a little money, because the summer was really busy. Hopefully we'll be okay, but you never know. Sean Griffins, a South Lake Tahoe refuse worker, has access to his house all day because he is considered an essential worker. On Thursday afternoon, he loaded clean laundry into his car and headed back to the hotel room he shares with his wife and 2 dogs. He said the bears destroyed everything in the neighborhood for a few days, and we had to clean up after them. Myers residents were allowed to return home a few hours later when fire officials reduced evacuation orders. Having evacuated his home in nearby Christmas Valley on August 29, Ayers has been staying in a hotel with only his dog for nearly 2 weeks. Within 15 minutes, he had thrown some clothes into large trash bags and fled his home of 21 years. "I'm 81 years old and I said, do I have to start over? I didn't eat for 3 or 4 days until I realized I hadn't eaten. Thank God for firefighters."